Trash talk again. We're together talking some more trash, and we actually decided this week we're just going to talk about what is real around us and what is fake. Do we know the difference? Do we
No,
care?
no.
I don't know. But one thing we do know is we are brought to you in part by the Patriot Sandwich Company, which is very, very real. They're in Denton, Texas, and David Jordan and his staff over there, mwah,
Great people.
do
Yeah,
they make a sandwich? And we don't often mention the sauces. Sometimes it's the
yeah.
sauce that really helps make the sandwich, and he's got a choice of like eight of them. And if you want to put all eight of them on your sandwich, you can. If
You can do it.
you want to put one or two, you pick your bread, you pick your meats, you pick your sandwich, and when you're all finished and they start making your sandwich, you say, "Oh, by the way, I heard about you on Trash Talk," and he's
Yep.
going to hand you this great big cup, and you're going to go over and fill it up for free.
Free beverage just for mentioning trash talk support, and they're supporting locals, supporting the vets. I mean, it's a no brainer. It's obvious. Just go do it.
It's a great place, and now go in and sit down and have a great sandwich. Enjoy the
Yeah,
memorabilia in
yeah.
the restaurant, and all, and then maybe grab a sandwich or two to go to have for later.
Or drop off. Buy one for somebody else that can't get out there and donate it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some friends of mine that don't get out there very much, and I thought about, hey, I'm going to pick up a sandwich. I'll drop it off to them. But and you know what? Two things before we get on there. One thing with David and David Jordan. I went last time with my family out there, and you know what? We hung out. I met somebody out there. I met this really cool guy. Who happened to be friends with David Jordan, who happens to be friends with another friend of mine, and now he's part of the crew. So I mean, and he's a former vet. Former vet. He is a vet,
Yep.
and great guy. His name's Otis, but and I found out he's from Detroit, just from hanging out at Patriot
Really
Sandwich Company. All
small
these
world.
connections. So you never know who you're going to meet out there when you sit and take some time to talk to people. So that was really cool and special for me. So I was happy about
It's
that.
also a great place to go over there and pick up a bunch of sandwiches if you're going to be sitting and watching a game on the weekend. And
Yeah,
a bunch of guys going to get together, go over, call ahead. They'll have it all ready for you. Pick it up, go home, turn on the widescreen TV, sit
just
back.
watch.
Whoa, what an
Yep.
experience.
Absolutely. I also want to give a quick shout out to the National Podcast Association. We're going to be featured this week, and the Trash Talk is as the podcast. So big shout out to the National Podcast Association.
The national podcast. We are hitting the big time.
We're riding, baby. We're riding.
Well, we are rising with a bullet, as they say.
Yeah, I got the email. We were supposed to be featured like a month ago, and I don't know what happened, but I got the email a couple days ago, and it said we're going to be featured this week. So we'll be sure to tell everybody about it all the time.
And then you can say you knew us when.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
We'd,
And
we're
that's
just gonna-
real.
We'll just be rolling in the trash.
Lots of trash, and that's some real stuff, not fake.
That's right. And what is real and what is fake? I mean, during the pandemic, let's face it, over the last year and a half, and all, the word fake has become as commonplace as hello and goodbye. What is fake news?
Most of it.
Yeah, and why? Why do we have to have fake news?
I don't know.
In journalism, they always say you don't say anything or you don't release a statement unless you can corroborate the information and make sure that it's authentic. But it's gotten to the point now where it seems like, oh, just say whatever you want. And if it's real, fine. If it's fake, we'll apologize later.
Well, and that's I did a podcast about the media too, and having responsibility and taking accountability for what they do these days, and they don't. There used to be a thing called journalistic integrity, and now it's like they don't care. Back in the day, if they reported something wrong, it was a big deal. Like if they made a mistake, it was a big deal. Nowadays, they say what they want, they throw their opinions on there, and they don't care the damage it does until after the fact, and by then it's too late.
Well, and whatever you say is going to make headlines on page one.
Absolutely.
If it turns out to be fake, then what do? On page 86, down in the bottom corner, there's a little retraction. Oh, the statement that we made on such and such a date and all on page 1, it wasn't real. So we're sorry.
We're sorry, and it's just been this narrative, and that's another word that's been overused, but it's just about headlines. It's about catch and throw it and don't care.
And isn't it funny that fake news also became kind of a moniker about the same time that they came up with this transparency?
Yeah.
They want to make everything transparent. So
Right.
what does that mean? It's going to be transparent whether it's real or whether
Yeah.
it's fake.
It's it's transparent that they don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't
yeah.
care. And what's really bad is I think we live in a world, and social media is partly to blame for it, but I think we live in a world where people just take it. They just take it and read it. Hey, I saw this on YouTube that the world was flat, so it's got to be flat.
Right.
But for the past how many years we know the world's round, and yet you've got people out there like, no, it's a conspiracy, and I'm like, okay.
That's right. And it must be flat because I heard about it on that channel.
Right. I saw it on TikTok. Look, a 17-year-old on TikTok told me that there's proof that the world's flat. And I'm like, that 17-year-old doesn't even know what a CD is. So let's not listen to them.
Right. And that 17-year-old probably has not been out of the house and away from their video screen to see whether it's round or flat anyway.
They're like, if you watch a boat go into the horizon, it disappears because it falls off.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Roll that beer down the street and see how fast they run after it to see if it's round or if it's flat.
Right. But there's a level of fake out there, because I think society and the media and Hollywood portray that because they won't accept real. Nobody wants. Have you noticed anybody who says anything real or outside of what's supposed to be said, they get criticized for it?
Right. Or this movie is a fake movie, but it's based on a true story.
And I'm like, what?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Based on true events. And oh.
And they never like, what's based on the event? Like the fact that something happened and that's it. There's a movie called The Strangers, and it's a horror movie, and it's about the strangers that literally go door to door. They knock on the door, and whoever answers, they decide to kill them. And it's great. It's a real wholesome movie. It's supposed to be based on true events, but here's my thing: everybody died in the movie, so how do you know that that's what happens? Like, how do you know that it wasn't just a random killing? How do you know that a group went through a neighborhood and decided to do this? Like, or is the only true event that there was a murder and you guys made up a story? Like,
yeah. And if everybody dies in the movie, who was around to corroborate the event?
right. But they put that on there based on actual events. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, and look at people. I mean, look at social media. People portray what they want to portray. They show you an image, and that's okay. I don't think that you need to exploit your life on social media.
Some people do.
Some people do, and I wish they wouldn't. Some people get accused of doing it, and they don't do it. But anyway,
They're being transparent.
yeah, they're being transparent, and I'm like, I see it. I see people pour their problems out on social media, like very personal, deep stuff. And I'm not saying that every now and then I'll throw an opinion or a comment out there that maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm just in a mood, but I don't talk about my real issues, even on my podcast and stuff. I don't get deep into like things that are going on, because it's just got to have some privacy.
Well, there have been some people that have wondered whether some of your podcasts are real or fake, and some of them have just disowned you.
That's true.
There are, like we've said, countries that have said, we think he's fake, so we're never going to listen to him again. So,
that's true. Countries have disowned me. I wish some people that follow me would disown me, but
you can't get rid of the fake ones.
I know I'm working on it. But the thing that I've always proud myself, or taken pride in, and it's not that I've always been perfect, is, man, I'm going to tell you how it is, and I think that in society nowadays, we don't hear that. It's hard to tell what's real or fake. Like, think about online dating. We talked about that. I
Yeah.
can't imagine doing that.
How
Like,
much of that is real and how much of that is fake?
right. I mean, and then you hear about people getting catfished and all that. Like, I I can't imagine going online, seeing a picture of a woman, and she might be real or fake, who knows? And then trying to meet her, and she's only given me this little version of what she is.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary.
And it's probably been airbrushed a little bit too to take
Yeah,
the layers
airbrushed,
off.
popped up and tightened, and you know, pumped a little, and
Yes. Are they real or are they fake?
right. Are we gonna do the real test? I'm not
Oh, you want the real me.
Right.
What you got to do is you got to respond to the fake me to
Right.
learn about who the real me is.
Right. Then you find out that it's not a she, it's a they or them or whatever the hell they're saying.
Yeah, yeah. You say no. Well, thank you very much for now that I've met the real you. Could you go back to the fake version?
Right. I'm gonna swipe the other way next time.
Yeah,
Swipe
yeah.
right, swipe right.
I think we can have more fun as fake people. Let's just
Right.
go back into our roles.
Well, I think that's a problem with kids these days too. If you want me to be honest with you, I think kids these days live on social media and create a social media persona that they have no idea what it is outside of that. And
Yeah.
so you don't know if you're getting real or fake. I mean, well, look at our food, for crying out loud.
I
You
was
don't know if
just
you're getting
I was just
real
going
food.
to mention that. I mean, we're living with fake food. I mean, who would ever have thought that we'd go out and buy an Impossible Burger? I mean,
Those are pretty good.
yeah, but I mean, it's plant based. You go to the ingredients, and number one of them is sodium. Which is
True.
like through the roof because that's where it gets a little flavor. But they're gonna take beans and kale and all kinds of other ingredients and supposedly organically raised stuff and put it in a blender and then add a little bit of brown coloring to make it look like beef and then make it into a patty and fry it. And you're supposed to bite into that and say, this is the best burger I've ever eaten.
No, I agree. Look, I prefer the real thing. I've had a couple good plant-based burgers that are some of the better ones that my buddy has recommended them. I don't want to eat them all the time, to be honest with you. I want a real burger. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be healthy if I'm getting a burger,
I don't want to turn green.
right? I mean, and I do overall. I eat pretty healthy anyway. But I do a lot of juicing and stuff like that. Not like juicing steroids, but and but plant-based, like everything, like some things should just be the real thing.
I mean, they take all this stuff and they can make it look like something that it's not.
Yeah.
So, I understand the idea and there's brands out there. I mean, going back, it started with the Boca Burger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that they used to just take all kinds of odds and ends and put it together and then you put it in a pan with a little bit of oil and fry it up, and it was supposed to taste like it. Frankly, whatever those fake burgers and all are, if you put enough onion and ketchup and mustard and stuff on it, it's going to taste fairly good because of all the condiments that you put on it.
Well,
But
it's like that girl on it's like the girl on the dating site. If you put all the fake stuff on her, she's gonna look pretty good.
that's right. And if you take your glasses off, she'll even look better.
Right? Or have a few beers.
Right. Yeah. What's the old phrase? The more I drink, the better you look.
Yeah, and the later at night it gets, the better you look. The other thing too, though, is I was reading some ingredients on especially snack foods, and like not necessarily Hostess themselves, but the little cakes and stuff. I was reading ingredients. There is one of them out there, and I won't say the name of it. I'll just say that It's a famous girl, and they've got colorful things on a brownie. That's all I'm going to say. One of the ingredients on there, there's a warning that says this may contain plastic. Great. So I want to eat all this crap and it may contain plastic.
Right.
Why are we selling this? Like, that's not food. That's like somebody like messed up making a brownie and their fork fell in there. You know? Like, what the hell is that? Why would I give my son that stupid brownie that's got plastic in it?
And if you eat enough of that, does that mean you become disposable
I know. Am I recyclable
or
now?
recyclable? Right.
When I go to the bathroom, does it come out in a Ziploc bag? I mean, yeah.
Right. And another area too is gemstones.
Oh yeah.
The fake diamonds. There are new companies that are really promoting how real their fake diamonds are. So, you can now go out, and that means that you can now go out and buy your girlfriend that 3-carat fake diamond, and she's going to say, "Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous."
Right.
But they give them strange names, faux diamonds. Like remember,
yeah, Fugazi, yeah.
Remember when you used to go out and buy your couch and it was made out of naugahyde, but it was genuine naugahyde. and it looks like leather and it feels like leather and it's half the cost of leather.
Right.
And it wears out twice as fast as leather.
Yeah, it does. Well, think about all the knockoff purses and knockoff shirts and things that are out there. There's a huge market for it, and they make them so realistic, and that's their advertising.
Right.
You won't know the difference. And I'm like,
sure,
we're literally settling for fake. We don't care. We're just taking it,
Go on Etsy or whatever.
Yeah.
And you see that there's this Louis Vuitton purse that's available for $29.95, not $2,995.
$30.
$30. And it's authentic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure it is. Sure.
I got a bridge for you.
Yeah, but that's it out there. Everything's fake. Everything's a ripoff, and people are like, "Well, I don't want to buy the real thing because it costs too much."
Yeah. Well, one thing that's not fake, and that's trash talk.
That's true.
It's the real stuff. And,
yeah, that's true.
And in addition to Patriot Sandwich Company, we're also brought to you by Irving Chung, who is a franchise consultant. And he ain't no fake either. He's got all the skinny on every possible franchise, from the real expensive to the very affordable. Oh, very affordable, you say? Go to bigconsideration.com, connect with Irving Chung and say, "Tell me more about it," because the consultation is free.
Free.
No cost. So you can ask him questions. If franchising is good for you, fine, he'll take care of you. And if not, you say, "Thank you very much for the information."
And move on. Yeah.
You bump fists and on you go.
It's a
Just
great
like we do every
though.
week. We do our shows, we bump fists, and then we make plans for what we're going to do next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Crazy, but great connections there. Great organization. So check them out.
Check them out, and then check us out again next week. And until then, go out and make it a good one.
See you later, guys.
Bye.